Hello, my name is Charles, and I am going to embark on an attempt to see if I can, at 50 years old, get myself into shape and be able to pass basic training physical standards and Army Ranger School physical standards. And a little bit of history about myself. I've always liked to be physical, always liked to run. Just enjoyed that. I was always in good shape as a kid. Skinny, but had a lot of strength and stamina. Joined the Army when I was 18. I was in until I was 22, 4 years, from 1986 to 1990, so that's been way too many years ago. When I got out, actually I was called back in 1991 for Desert Storm. I was in for a few months, got shipped to Germany, and we were the replacement people if a bunch of people got killed on the front lines, and that never happened, so I wound up getting a few months trip to Germany and come back. Wanted to be in the Rangers when I joined the military. That was my thing. I was all gung-ho. Joined and was disillusioned because I realized that a lot of it in the Army was spit shining boots and starch in your uniform and stuff, and that wasn't the kind of thing that I was looking for. I wanted to be out in the woods getting dirty and doing hardcore stuff, and basically I had no idea what the Army was really like, and I had no I was not the right person to be in the Rangers. Turned out to not really be the right person for the Army, but it was good for me. It taught me a lot. Helped me to understand a little bit about having stick-to-itiveness, and helped me to get myself on track for the rest of my life. So it was really good in a lot of ways. And I look back on it now and think, I really could have done a lot better. But I got out of the military in 1990. Started working, went to school and started working as a draftsman, and stuck to that, and I'm still basically in that line of work. I'm in engineering and design work now, basically a desk job, and where I'm working now for the past couple of years, I've had a little more opportunity to actually get out and get my hands dirty, but still I'm sitting at a desk most of the time. Gained a lot of weight after I got out of the Army and started working at a desk job. Wound up in 2013 weighing 310 pounds. I joined the Army, I was 190 pounds, got up to about 210 or so, and was in great shape. Got out and working a desk job, just was not very active, and sitting around a lot, gained a lot of weight, so wound up at 310 pounds in 2013. 2014, I decided I wanted to do something about it. Got myself in shape starting in either the beginning of March or the beginning of April, I can't remember which, getting myself ready to do a Warrior Dash. And the Warrior Dash was in Iowa in early August, and I went from 310 pounds in 2013. I lost a little bit of weight before the beginning of March or April 2014. Got all the way down to 220 pounds for the Warrior Dash. The next day I weighed 217. I lost some weight doing the Warrior Dash. So that was great, but going over one of the obstacles in the Warrior Dash, I fractured a few ribs, and took me about 6 weeks before that healed up. I couldn't do much of anything. It was hard to even lay on a hard surface. Couldn't cough or sneeze without a lot of pain, and just was miserable. So I was not doing any training at that time, nothing really physical. So wound up getting out of that routine, and then shortly after that, the holidays came up. Halloween, and then Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and was off my diet basically. So gained a bunch of weight back, and just kind of got out of the whole mindset of keeping in shape. So that leads me up to this past year, 2017, I was up to 285 again, and in the beginning of July, I started wanting to do something. Started doing some push-ups, and at that point, I started doing one push-up a day, and that was enough in the beginning for me because I was really out of shape. So I did one push-up a day for the first week. The next week, I did 2 push-ups a day. The next week, I did 3 push-ups a day, and each day just add one more, and I got up to where I was doing 20 a day, and that was pretty much my limit to be able to do push-ups all without stopping. So when I got to 21, I did 20 earlier in the day, and then later on I did one more, and the next week I did 20, and then 2 more to do 22. And I just kept working myself up. Right now I'm at 27 a day, and I've realized that my 20 that I do, at least for a long time there, it was just get through them. My push-ups for those 20 are not exactly military spec push-ups. I think the rule was you had to go down to where your upper arm was parallel with the ground. So I'm not quite doing that, but I'm getting down there. So for when I do the 20, I do as well as I can, and then when I do like today, when I do the next 7, I do them slow, and I go all the way down and all the way back up. So that's really helping me too. My 20 are becoming easier. So I started doing that. I'm still carrying that on. And within, I don't know, it's been about a month or 2 ago, I decided to start getting on my diet. I think it's been probably about a month ago. So I've lost a lot of weight. I started out at 285, and now this morning I weighed 257. So I'm doing well. I'm doing the low carb diet, and that really works well for me. I'm a meat eater anyway. So losing a lot of weight, and one thing I just realized, it's been, I guess it's coming on 2 years ago now, I had rotator cuff surgery. So that also was a month of doing pretty much nothing, and then physical therapy to get my shoulder going again. So, and it was hurting for a while before that surgery, so it was at that time, it was several months there where I was doing not much of anything. So that also contributed to not being in shape and just, being lethargic. No, it was 285, now I'm down to 257, and that's good. I started doing a little bit of running. That's one thing that I've been trying to add in. It's very little. I did a little bit of running today. So I'm building up on that. The program that I have set up for myself, when I went in the Army in '86, I went in on January 22nd of 1986, and so my program this year, 2018, is going to start on January 22nd. It's a Monday, and I have a whole program set up, January through April. I can't remember what date in April. I'm going to be working up to my Army standards, regular basic training standards, and then from April to June is going to be trying to get myself ready to pass the Ranger School program, their standards for push-ups and sit-ups and mile run and 2 mile run and a road march and everything. So what I have it here on my screen. It's basic training from January 22nd through April 22nd, and the Ranger School will be April 23rd through June 26th, which is my birthday. So on June 26th, I have to be able to pass all the standards for Ranger School. Basic training, I have to be able to do 42 push-ups in 2 minutes, 53 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and do a 2 mile run in 15 minutes and 54 seconds or less. And I can't remember when I found these standards if they were the standards, because I did some looking to find the standards what they were in 1986 when I was in but I can't remember if these are those standards or if these are current standards. I can't remember. So that's the basic training standards. The Ranger School standards have to be able to do 49 push-ups in 2 minutes, 59 sit-ups in 2 minutes. I have to be able to do at least 6 total pull-ups. I have to be able to do a 2-mile run in 15 minutes and 12 seconds or less. I have to be able to do a 5-mile run in 40 minutes or less. And I have to be able to do a 16-mile road march with a 65-pound pack on my back in 5 hours and 20 minutes or less. So those are the standards that I'm aiming for. And I can tell you that right now I'm nowhere near that. This is January 6th of 2018, and I'm nowhere near that. So I've come up with a lot of things that I want to do. Wake up 5:30 in the morning, get dressed, and do some push-ups and sit-ups, and do a little weight training. In the evenings, Monday through Friday, I need to do a run. Let me think. In the evening, I'm going to do some P90X, and that's something I did some years back. Me and my wife got into that, and it really was good as long as we stuck to it. And once we got out of the habit of it, we just kind of stopped. So in the evenings, Monday through Friday, I need to do some P90X before I eat supper when I come home from work. On Tuesday evenings, I'm going to do some running. We have a little property here. We have 3 acres, so there's a little trail around the back part of the property, and 5-point-something laps is a mile. So 5 to 6 laps is a mile, and I want to do some running around that trail on our property. I want to be able to do 5 laps, run 5 laps by the end of basic training, we'll be able to run 10 laps by the end of the Ranger School. And our property it's not flat and level, it's got some ups and downs, so it's got there's some resistance there. So that's Tuesday evenings, do that run around our property. Thursday, I want to do leg exercises in the evening, really strengthen my legs. And Saturday, I want to go running down the street that goes along the side of our property. There's very little traffic and it goes a good ways. I got 2 miles marked off on that. So I'm going to do some running on that side street. By April 14th, I want to be able to run 3.5 miles down that side street. And that side street is also very hilly. It's more downhill on the way out and uphill on the way back, but there's some ups and downs either way. Some parts of it are some serious hills, so it's gonna be difficult. On Sundays, I'm gonna go on a road march on our property or down the side street with a rucksack with increasing weight. By the end of April, by the end of the basic, I want to be carrying 60 pounds. And I'm going to have a distance goal of 5 miles and a time goal of 2 hours. May 20th, pretty close to, about most of the way through Ranger School, I'm going to be able to carry 80 pounds, a distance goal of 5 miles and a time goal of 2 hours. So I'm going to gain a couple of 20 pounds there. Also, one of the things that I know my training here is not going to be exactly like basic or Ranger School, just because it's hard to recreate that environment. So I know that the stress and the lack of sleep and a lot of different things play into making that kind of training difficult. So my plan is to try and recreate some of that. I plan on trying to go on a little sleep here and there on the weekends, just to see how it affects me. Also, I know that the mental side of it is a major portion of basic and Ranger School, and I don't really have much that I can do to try and recreate that. But one of the things that I do know is you have to learn a lot while you're in basic and Ranger School, and there's a lot of things you have to memorizing the different weapons and their effective ranges and different hand grenades and all kinds of different stuff you have to memorize. So I've come up with some things that I want to memorize while I'm doing this, and it's going to be part of it. Plus, it's just things that I'd like to know. By the end of basic training, I want to have memorized the 10 Commandments from the King James Version of the Bible, and also I want to memorize a list. I come up with it's probably about 3 pages long of the names of God in the Bible, and there's just a whole list of different names of God in the Bible, and I've got that all printed out, and I want to be able to have that memorized, half of it memorized by the end of basic. By the end of Ranger School, I also want to memorize the 12 steps, like the recovery 12 steps, because they are things that I think everybody should know and be able to work through. So I'm going to have that memorized, and also the names of God from basic and the second half of that list memorized by the end of Ranger School, and also still be able to have the 10 Commandments memorized. So everything from basic plus some other stuff for Ranger School. So that's my program. That's what I'm working for. It's been a few years ago, my wife and I took a trip east, and we went through the Fort Benning area, Clarksville, Tennessee, and because I was stationed there for close to 2 years while I was in, and stopped off at a store there, and I bought a shirt that it's kind of a baseball style shirt, and it says Army Strong on it, and I really liked that shirt, and I wanted to be able to wear it, but I didn't feel like especially at that time, that I was that it really would fit me. I think it could have physically fit me, but at that time I was just not in very good shape, overweight and everything, and I just didn't feel right wearing a shirt that said Army Strong when I was not strong. So my goal is to pass all these standards and be able to put that shirt on my birthday, June 26th of this year. So that's my goal. I plan on making a video each week to show my progress, see how I'm doing, whether I've died in the attempt or if I'm still alive and kicking. I have no doubt that I can achieve this, but I have no doubt that it's going to be very difficult. So I'm going to be 51 years old this year on my birthday. So right now I'm 50 years old and not in great shape. I've been working on it, losing some weight, doing push-ups, and I'm strengthening myself, but I'm still not in good shape right now. So I've got about 6 months to make a big change. I know I can lose the weight in that amount of time. I did it in 2014. There's some discipline needed to stick to my diet. I know I can do the running. I know that because I did it back in 2014. I was running. I got up to 5 miles and was enjoying it. So I want to do that again. The road march is going to be difficult. Once again, I know that my road march is not going to be quite up to military standards. I'm not going to have a Kevlar on my head. I'm not going to have my LBE with canteens and stuff. I have some combat boots, but they're really old and hard, so I'm probably not going to wear them. Probably just be wearing tennis shoes. I will be wearing jeans, not shorts or jogging pants. I'll probably be wearing a t-shirt. I still have a BDU jacket that will fit me, so I can't button it up right now, but I can at least put it on me. So I'll be wearing that probably. And I'll be starting in January. It's going to be freezing cold outside, and we'll be finishing in June, and it's in Oklahoma here, so it's going to be hot, just like when I was in basic. So there's going to be some challenges, but I'm looking forward to it, and I know that I can do it. And I'm going to prove that somebody who's 50 years old can still meet these standards. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So keep checking back and see my progress and see if I'm still alive. Thank you.